In this moment, we find ourselves living in a world that is not always as it seems. The reality we perceive is filtered through a complex web known as the matrix of illusion. This matrix is not a physical network. Rather, it's a conceptual framework that shapes our understanding of the world around us. It is the sum total of societal norms, cultural beliefs, and personal biases that can distort our perception of reality. The initial lesson to grasp is the nature of perception itself. We often believe our senses provide us with direct insight into the world as it truly is. However, our senses are merely channels, and like any channel, they can be manipulated. The colors we see, the sounds we hear, and the textures we feel are all interpreted by our brain, which is influenced by our past experiences, our expectations, and our emotions. Take, for example, the simple act of looking at a tree. One person may see a source of shade, another may see a complex ecosystem, and yet another may see the potential for profit in its lumber. The tree hasn't changed, but each person's perception of it is shaped by their individual matrix of understanding. Within this matrix, we are often unaware of how deeply we are influenced by external forces. Marketing campaigns, social media, news outlets, and even our educational systems play a role in crafting a version of reality that serves specific purposes, often not our own. These forces can nudge our tastes, our opinions, and even our memories in directions that we may not consciously choose. Now, consider for a moment the last time you changed your mind about something important. Was it truly a change that originated within you, or was it the result of an external influence so subtle you didn't even notice it? This is not to say that influence is inherently negative. It can inspire us to grow and to learn. But it's crucial to recognize when our thoughts are truly our own, and when they are the echoes of the matrix. Another layer of this matrix is the stories we tell ourselves. From the moment we are born, we are given a narrative about who we are, what we should aspire to be, and how we should perceive the world. These narratives can be comforting, for they provide us with a sense of identity and purpose. Yet, they also confine us, limiting our potential to the boundaries of the story. Our personal narratives are reinforced by repetition and emotion, which solidify them within our consciousness. They can become so ingrained that we might not realize that they are narratives at all, mistaking them for absolute truths. But what happens when we encounter a piece of information that contradicts our narrative? Often, we dismiss it or rationalize it away. This is a defense mechanism, protecting the integrity of our worldview, but it also keeps us trapped within the matrix. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. To step outside this matrix, we must first become aware of its existence. We must learn to observe not only the world around us, but also our reactions to it. By doing so, we can begin to see the patterns of our perception, the recurrent themes in our narratives, and the sources of influence that shape our reality. In this observation lies the key to freedom. When we can see the matrix, we can also see the levers of manipulation within it. We can recognize when a particular media story is designed to elicit fear, or when a social trend is pushing us towards consumption. With this awareness, we can make choices that are aligned with our true selves rather than the selves the matrix would have us be. Let's now turn our attention to the tools we possess to navigate and even alter this matrix. Our thoughts are the architects of our perception. They have the power to construct and deconstruct the world as we see it. By harnessing this power, we can reshape the matrix in a way that serves our growth and well-being. One such tool is critical thinking. This is the practice of questioning the validity of the information we receive, seeking evidence and considering alternative viewpoints. Critical thinking enables us to pierce through the veil of the matrix, to distinguish fact from fiction, and to form opinions based on reason rather than reaction. Another tool is mindfulness, the art of being fully present in the moment. Mindfulness allows us to witness the workings of the matrix in real time, to recognize when our emotions are being leveraged, and to maintain our equilibrium in the face of manipulation. Then there's the power of intention. By setting a clear intention for who we want to be and how we want to engage with the world, we create a beacon that guides us through the fog of the matrix. Our intention acts as a filter, helping us to discern what aligns with our path and what does not. As we develop these tools, we also become more adept at recognizing the influence of the matrix in others. We can see when someone is speaking from a place of authentic self-expression and when they are parroting the narratives they've been fed. This not only deepens our understanding of the world but also fosters compassion, as we realize that we are all, in one way or another, navigating the same complex web. The power of choice is perhaps the most potent tool we have against the matrix. Every day we make countless choices, from the mundane to the monumental. Each choice is an opportunity to affirm our independence from the matrix or to fall deeper into its grasp. When we choose with awareness and intention, we reclaim control over our own reality. We must also consider the role of connection in our journey through the matrix. We are social beings, and our relationships with others can either reinforce the matrix or help us break free from it. When we connect with others on a genuine level, sharing our true thoughts and feelings, we create pockets of reality that are less susceptible to manipulation. Now, let us ponder a question. If the matrix were to fall away entirely, who would you be? Without the stories, the influences, the expectations, what aspects of yourself would remain? This is not a question with an immediate answer, but rather one to carry with you, to reflect upon as you move through life. As we reach the end of this part of our discussion, it's important to recognize that the matrix is not an enemy. It is a reality of the human condition, a byproduct of our collective consciousness. The goal is not to destroy the matrix, but to understand it, to navigate it with wisdom, and to choose our own path within it. We have the power to create our own reality, to see beyond the veil of illusion, and to live in a way that is authentic and true to ourselves. In the next part of our discussion, we will explore the mechanisms by which the matrix perpetuates itself and how we can break the cycle to experience a more profound sense of reality. The hidden cogs. Understanding the mechanics of perception. As we delve further into the intricacies of the matrix that shapes our perception, we arrive at the understanding of its self-perpetuating nature. The matrix is not static. It evolves, grows, and reinforces itself through a series of mechanisms that operate both within us and around us. To navigate this landscape with clarity, we must dissect these mechanisms and learn how to counteract them. One of the primary cogs in the machinery of the matrix is confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek, interpret, and remember information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, confirmation bias chips away at the vast block of reality, leaving behind only the figure that we expect to see. It narrows our view, preventing us from seeing the full spectrum of possibilities. In the context of the matrix, confirmation bias ensures that once a narrative gains a foothold in our consciousness, it becomes self-reinforcing. News stories, social media feeds, and conversations with like-minded individuals all become mirrors, reflecting our own beliefs back at us, solidifying them further within the matrix. Another cog is the concept of cognitive dissonance. This is the discomfort we experience when confronted with information that contradicts our beliefs or behaviors. To alleviate this discomfort, we often go to great lengths to dismiss or rationalize the conflicting information. This mechanism acts as a gatekeeper, preserving the integrity of the matrix by turning away any data that might destabilize it. The matrix also thrives on the illusion of choice. While we may believe we are making independent decisions, our choices are often limited to the options that the matrix presents. These options are tailored to perpetuate the status quo, to keep us within the confines of what is deemed acceptable or normal by societal standards. The true extent of our freedom is much broader than the matrix would have us believe. To counteract these mechanisms, we must first shine the light of awareness on them. We can begin by actively seeking out information that challenges our beliefs, expanding our sources of news and engaging with a diverse range of opinions. This practice not only broadens our perspective, but also strengthens our critical thinking skills. We can also create space for reflection before reacting to contradictory information. By pausing to question why we feel discomfort and whether there is validity to the new information, we open ourselves up to the possibility of growth and change. This reflection is a tool that allows us to loosen the grip of cognitive dissonance. When it comes to the illusion of choice, we must remind ourselves that the most meaningful options are often not the most visible. Sometimes the best choice is to create a new path, one that may not be immediately recognized by the matrix, but aligns more closely with our authentic selves. The matrix also perpetuates itself through the stories that societies, cultures, and individuals tell about success, happiness, and the nature of reality. These stories are powerful because they tap into our deepest desires and fears. They can dictate the trajectory of our lives, influencing our career choices, our relationships, and our sense of self-worth. To rewrite these stories, we must become the authors of our own narratives. This requires a deep understanding of our values, our passions, and our purpose. When we write our story from a place of authenticity, we create a narrative that is more resistant to the distortions of the matrix. The power of language is another cog in the machine. The words we use shape our reality in profound ways. They can limit or expand our thinking, evoke emotions, and influence our actions. By becoming mindful of our language, both in thought and speech, we can begin to dismantle the structures of the matrix that confine us. Lastly, the role of community cannot be overstated. The people we surround ourselves with can either reinforce the matrix or help us to see beyond it. By cultivating relationships with individuals who challenge us, who support our growth, and who see the world through different lenses, we build a community that is a source of strength and inspiration. At this point, let us reflect on the impact of the stories we accept and the language we use. How might our lives change if we consciously chose narratives that empower us and speak in ways that reflect our deepest truths? As we reach the conclusion of this segment, remember that the matrix is maintained through our participation in it. Every time we challenge the mechanisms that perpetuate the matrix, we take a step towards a reality that is more authentic and free. In the next part of our conversation, we will examine the transformative power of breaking free from the matrix and the profound impact it can have on our lives and the world at large. Emancipation of the mind, the journey beyond illusion. In our quest to understand the matrix and the ways in which it shapes our reality, we now arrive at a pivotal moment, the act of breaking free. This emancipation of the mind is not just an act of rebellion against external structures. It is a profound inner transformation that redefines our very existence. By stepping beyond the veil of illusion, we awaken to a world of possibilities that were once obscured by the Matrix. This journey begins with the realization that freedom is not merely about changing circumstances, but about altering our perception. It's a metamorphosis that takes place within the cocoon of our own minds, where we liberate ourselves from the constraints of conditioned thought and behavior. The awakening. The first stage in this journey is the awakening, a moment of clarity where we recognize the extent to which the Matrix has influenced our lives. This realization can be unsettling, as it often comes with the understanding that much of what we have taken for granted as reality is, in fact, a carefully constructed narrative. However, this awakening is also liberating. It marks the point at which we take the first steps towards intellectual and emotional autonomy. We begin to question the status quo, to seek out our own truths, and to understand the power of our individual consciousness. The Great Unlearning. As we awaken, we enter a phase often referred to as the Great Unlearning. This is where we consciously begin to dismantle the beliefs, assumptions, and prejudices that have been implanted in us by the Matrix. It is a challenging process, as it requires us to let go of the comfort of familiarity and to embrace uncertainty. The Great Unlearning is an act of courage. It involves delving into the depths of our own ignorance and emerging with a willingness to grow and to embrace a more nuanced understanding of the world. The reconstruction. Once we have shed the layers of indoctrination, we start the process of reconstruction. Here we build a new framework for our reality, one that is based on our authentic experiences, insights, and reflections. We craft a personal philosophy that honors our individuality and respects the interconnectedness of all life. This reconstruction is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of refinement. As we accumulate new experiences and insights, our framework for understanding reality evolves, becoming more sophisticated and adaptable. The ripple effect. Our personal transformation has a ripple effect that extends far beyond our individual lives. By living authentically, we become beacons of possibility for others. We demonstrate that another way of being is not only possible but also fulfilling. When we break free from the Matrix, we inspire those around us to question their own realities. We create a space for dialogue and exchange that can lead to collective awakening. This ripple effect has the potential to transform societies, as more individuals step into their power and contribute to a shared vision of a more conscious and connected world. The harmonious balance. The final stage in our journey is the harmonious balance, an understanding that freedom from the Matrix does not mean complete disengagement from the world. Rather, it is about finding balance, where we can navigate the structures of society without being unconsciously controlled by them. In this state of balance, we learn to interact with the Matrix in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations. We make conscious choices that contribute to our well-being and the well-being of others, fostering a world that reflects our newfound understanding. Conclusion: the continuum of freedom. As we conclude this part of our discussion, it's important to recognize that freedom from the Matrix is not a destination but a continuum. It is a path we walk every day, with each step taking us closer to a life that is lived with intention, awareness, and an open heart. The journey beyond illusion is a transformative process that brings with it a deeper appreciation for the complexity and beauty of reality. It empowers us to live with purpose and to create a legacy that transcends the limitations of the Matrix. In the next part of our exploration, we will look at practical strategies for maintaining this freedom in our daily lives and for fostering environments that support others in their own journey of awakening. The vanguard of vision. Cultivating enduring liberation. As we venture into the culmination of our exploration, we stand on the precipice of action. The understanding and insights we have garnered now beckon us to apply them, to become the vanguard of our own vision. It is here, in the realm of practical application, that our journey takes on tangible form, transforming the abstract into the concrete. The path of enduring liberation is paved with deliberate choices, persistent effort, and the unwavering conviction to maintain the sovereignty of our minds. Sustaining the inner revolution. The inner revolution that has led us to break free from the matrix is an ongoing process. To sustain it, we must cultivate a mindset of vigilance and continuous learning. Like a gardener tending to a garden, we must nurture our newfound awareness, weed out regressive thoughts, and protect against the invasive species of external influence. Mindfulness. The practice of mindfulness keeps us anchored in the present moment, allowing us to observe our thoughts and feelings without attachment. This awareness is the bedrock of our liberation, ensuring that we do not slip back into unconscious patterns.